Welcome back to the show. So far, sorry, are you dancing? I wasn't dancing. I'm sorry. So far this evening, we've been chatting to former Fair City star Jenny Dixon and Limerick TD Tom Neville and comedian Alison Spittle.
Well, next this evening, we're joined by the man who's got all the advice you need on how to nab the man or woman of your dreams this Valentine's. Please welcome Feargal Harrington from Intro Matchmaking.
Hello. Feargal, you set up Intro Matchmaking with your wife, Rena. So how did you two meet?
Well, my brother and Rena were friends back in the day, and we met. The first time I met Rena, I was 11, and she was not. That's okay.
Save it. What?
Yeah, I will save that one. So there was a party going on. Move forward 15 years. Okay. We met again, and then, basically, my brother is a singer-songwriter. She played a few songs of his. As a thank you, he said, I better thank you by buying a pint. Feargal, you're single, Rena, she's single, so let's sort this out. So Owen match made us, in fairness. So we have everything, we have him to thank for everything, to be honest with you. So first date was Michael Bublé a week later. Then a week after that, I said, I'm not interested in seeing anyone else. Are you? And she said, no. And she was a bit shocked. And I said, OK, let's
A week later?
Yeah, I don't like messing around.
Fair play to you.
Straight in. And then a couple months later, we just set up Intro because we decided there's an awful lot of friends and colleagues and family members are saying it's really hard to meet people, but I want something done in a private and confidential way. I want a genuine long-term relationship, but where do I go? What do I do? The dating sites aren't working, da-da-da-da-da. So we decided to...
So you decided to be the national Owen?
Yeah, or the wingman that people... The wingman was the buzzword that we came up with, and we thought, let's just be the wingman for people who lost the wingman in their life.
You just said there, like, dating sites weren't working. Why aren't dating sites working?
Well, you see, it depends on where you're actually going. A lot of the free apps that people would spend a lot of time on are filled with people who may not be the most genuine, that might misrepresent themselves, that might lie an awful lot. So the longer people remain on those, the more jaded they become about the whole dating scene. And then they almost think, geez, are there any good people out there? And the fact is there are, but you just need to put yourself into the right pool. So at least pay for a site where you know there's some onus on the person that they have committed in some way, shape or form, and you can identify the person is an actual person. But some of the free apps, you just don't know if they're even real.
Yeah.
Okay, you
That's why he didn't show up to the date. He wasn't real.
Not a real human.
No, I know.
He was a boss.
It all makes sense. He didn't stand me up.
Well, yeah.
Trauma.
Right. You say that finding the perfect partner is like finding the perfect job. Explain that.
Well, yeah, I mean, in that sense, I mean, you need to commit almost as much energy, time and effort into finding your life partner as you would going and getting a degree to find your career that you really want. So people a lot of the time, they think it's a fast fix. They think it's a real quick fix. They just go online, set up a profile, I think it's going to be sorted. I mean, the search for love doesn't stop on the 15th of February. This is a year-long thing. People didn't know that it's a hard slog. You're going to kiss a lot of frogs. You're going to go through an awful lot of nasty kind of experiences and you'll be disheartened an awful lot of the time. But the fact of the matter is, keep the faith, know that there are good people out there, but you just need to know that it's not all about what you're looking for, it's what you're bringing to the table as well. Yeah. We can be very quick to actually say, well, that's not what I want this and I want that and I want them where I want them. So we look at it like a catalogue, almost like it's a shop window.
Right.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
So you need to manage expectations.
That's what we do all day, every day.
Okay. So people are looking for a match. So you say they're coming to you and I want this, this, and this, and you're saying, forget it, pal. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, literally today, I just got off the phone to someone who was 59, and he said, "Okay, but I want a family. I want kids. I want everything." And I said, "That's okay. That's what you want. But the thing is, we can't get a 30-year-old." to a 35-year-old to agree to meet you. And he said, well, if I'm paying you, you get me what I want. I said, it's not really like that.
No.
We're dealing with humans.
Would that be the biggest expectation that you have?
Age is a huge issue for men and women. Men start becoming a little bit difficult on age from the age of 40 because they're looking around, their friends are all settled down, they've got married, they've got kids, they're going to christenings every other weekend and thinking, God damn it, I need to find someone myself. But then he rings up and says, I want a 27-year-old because I want to continue being Peter Pan for another few years before I actually get settled down and married. And then you get 65-year-old lads ringing up saying, I've been at home living at home all my life.
Alison's face is doing what my face is doing as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What do you make of that?
Well, like, there's another website they can go to pay for a service if they want that.
This is true.
Do you know what I mean?
They're unashamed in what they're looking for. They think it's absolutely totally acceptable. Women will call it, it's not all about bashing the men on the age thing. Women will call it 50 and say, I feel I look 40 because I do a lot of Pilates and yoga and I eat fish. So my complexion is very youthful looking and my omega levels are very high. This is what we hear.
Omega levels.
Omega levels.
So I want a 40-year-old man. And we have to say, well, I'm very sorry, Mary, but we can't actually get a 40-year-old man to agree to meet you. So we're kind of at a crossroads here.
Lads.
Notions levels is very high.
It's kind of okay. So the age thing is something, and I know that Alison, your new play, it is about a bad dating experience. Essentially, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a starlet. It's kind of like the country dating, which is where you get a lad with a car and you think you've got the best catch ever, and then you find out that there may be some other transactions involved if you want a lad with a car.
There we go.
Yeah.
About a starlet.
Jenny, Tom, did you ever have to go down the dating app or online dating, or was it just meeting at the bar and that's it?
We just met at the bar. We were lucky enough that
But in the past, did you have to?
way, you
ever?
know.
I think why not? I think maximise, like, I have friends who met their partner on apps as well, and I think just, you know, or whether it's a private service, you know, like that's more tailored to your needs. I think just maximise your chances, like take up all the invites, join all the apps, join all the services available, and like what you were saying, it's like a, you know, dedicate time to us to pursuing that goal of finding
and
someone.
be honest.
Yeah.
That's the major key. I mean, if people are looking to get fit, they go to the gym. There's nothing embarrassing about it, and the stigma has to be lifted. People are talking more and more about mental health, and that's great, but we don't talk about the loneliness factor, and that's a huge issue.
So let's talk about loneliness factor, and sometimes in Ireland people are moving to cities. So in rural Ireland, do people have, is it just as easy for people to meet people there as in cities in Ireland?
This is hard, I'd say. It's
Harder,
harder.
yeah.
It's absolutely harder. And there's more men physically living in rural areas than women. There's more women in cities because women spend longer in education, and therefore there's more women pocketed in cities because that's where the professional jobs are. So if you're the general profile might be 45-year-old Paddy, and he's the eldest son, he's going to inherit the farm. So he says, "Mammy, do you think I should meet a nice woman?" And Mammy says, sure, no woman is going to treat you the way I do and cook and clean the way I do. So a lot of the time there can be a little bit of Irish guilt put on him to stay because, you know, she wants him there. So then at 65, they may die at 90 something, and he's left thinking, what do I do now? I need an heir to pass my land on to. So rural Ireland, there can be a lot of issues around, you know, the land, and you'll stay here, and then if the guys aren't allowed experiment and experience, the girls usually leave. The girls usually go off to the cities. They go to college and they.
So it's all, you say, it all depends on the road frontage.
It does.
It does. It does depend on that. There are 20,000 weddings in Ireland annually, so we're told. 5,000 of those end in divorce. Theirs won't.
No, they won't.
No pressure, lads.
Okay, so where are we going wrong?
I think an awful lot of Irish people, we get very complacent with things, and we think, you know, I don't really know if this is going to have a full future, but it's handier to be in a relationship than to not. So I think a lot of the time people will settle down, you know, present company totally excluded, will settle down before actually discussing what do you want, what are your lifelong goals, what are your future intentions, and they just sort of get into it and then realise 10 years down the line, you know what, I wasn't very happy where I was. But on the flip of that, you could say, isn't it great that people are now realising that there's no point in remaining in a loveless marriage, and they get out of it to actually try and pursue a happy
Do you
life.
think then, like, half the weddings happen because they just don't want to unbook a hotel?
And
Do you know what I mean?
The hassle.
Yeah, the hassle.
I think a lot of people want the whole thing. They want the church wedding. They want this, that, and the other. They want to know that they can just tick that box.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are under pressure. They ring and they say, well, I want this. I want to have a kid by that age, and I want to do that.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, okay, but will you just do it with the right person, please? And
I wonder if people are now turning to their partner on the couch and just go, no, listen, don't look, everything's fine. Feargal, Harrington, thank you so much. Thank you.
Right, it's almost feeding time. Yes, we need cake. We'll be heading up to the Sixth Kitchen shortly, where Lily Higgins is treating us to chocolate and red wine cake. Yes, in the 110. We're looking forward to it. We'll see you after the break.